Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops, and this is a night with 5 games on the schedule, so not too much, pretty easy to watch, started at 3 o'clock, but I want to start us off with the main topic to me, which is the Dallas Mavericks, who took down the Charlotte Hornets 124-118 to move to 5-1 on the season. The Mavs have been one of the most impressive teams to me early on in this NBA season, and the biggest part to me isn't Luka or Kyrie Irving. Kyrie's been okay. He's catching some flack online. He's averaging like 20 points with like a 52% true shooting with 7 assists, which isn't bad by any means, but a lot of people will tell you, it's not what we've come to expect from a player like Kyrie, and Luka's been really good as always, but the biggest thing with the Mavs so far is the other guys stepping up, because while Luka's been in Dallas, the biggest argument against the team as a whole is that they don't have enough supporting him. The supporting cast isn't good enough, the guys around him aren't good enough, and that's the biggest issue for the Mavs trying to contend for a title. But to me, they have built a really good team around Luka and the Mavs now in Dallas. And the biggest thing is they've finally found their center. It's been a long time that the Mavs have been looking for a center to find. It's been Dwight Powell a lot of the time, even Kristaps Porzingis. They played him a lot at the 4, so it's been Powell, it's been Maxi Kleber, JaVale McGee played there a little bit, Christian Wood, but now they have one in rookie lottery pick Dereck Lively II, who finishes tonight's game with 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 1 block, shoots 7 of 9 from the field, and is just the perfect big man to pair alongside with Luka Doncic. He's great in the role alongside Luka, is catching passes, most of them are lobs, and finishing at the rim through defenders, over defenders, and just doing a great job of making a very strong impact early on with his kind of ability to grab rebounds, be a menace defensively. He's a good rim protector, even though he only had 1 block tonight. And the underrated part of Lively's game is the playmaking. You don't see bigs, especially young bigs, be this good at passing the ball. He already had a game where he had 6 assists as a rookie center in his first couple weeks in the league. Lively looks really good, is a monster on the boards, is super efficient, and is just everything you could ask for in a partner with Luka because of how athletic he is, because of the IQ he has to be in the right place to catch lobs and finish at the rim. And then we move to Grant Williams, who's been really good for them as well. 18 points and 4 rebounds to go with 3 assists tonight, 7 of 9 from the field and 4 of 5 from 3. I saw a post earlier today that said Grant Williams for the season is now shooting 55% from the field and 56% from 3. So he's actually shooting slightly better from downtown than he is overall, but is shooting really, really well and efficiently in pretty much everywhere on the court. Grant Williams has been really good to start the year, continues to be kind of like their point of attack defender. I'd say he's the best defender on this team and has done a really good job as kind of like the third offensive option, but he's been solid. He's hitting his shots, he's not trying to do too much, and is just kind of being exactly what the Mavs need and exactly what they thought they were getting when they signed him. Speaking of guys who are kind of overperforming a little bit, Derrick Jones Jr. has been really good in the starting lineup for this team. Yes, he has 0 points in today's game. They only play him 17 minutes. Even last game, I think he had 7 points. It wasn't the best game ever, but the 2 games before that is what I want to focus on, where Derrick Jones Jr. had 22 points and 17 points in those 2 games respectively. Another guy who's super athletic and alongside Luka and Kyrie is getting open looks and taking advantage. Looking at some other guys who have made an impact, Tim Hardaway Jr. has been really good at scoring the ball, especially down the stretch of games, has 16 points in this game. They get 14 from Jaden Hardy, who is kind of in the Cam Thomas mold. I don't think he's the level of scoring talent that Cam Thomas is, but is a very good young scorer nonetheless. And Dwight Powell, I like a lot more as a backup big than I like as a starting big. 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists tonight, shooting 3 of 3 from the field and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. The Mavs win this game handily. well, somewhat handily. There were a couple stretches where it got closer than it should have been, but they had to come back because the Hornets built this early on. It wasn't handily at all. I don't know really why I said that, but the Mavs win after a big comeback because the Hornets kind of controlled this game for a lot because the Mavs couldn't get it together offensively, and LaMelo Ball was great in the fourth quarter, threatened to take this game away. I believe he had 23 of his 30 points in the fourth quarter, and LaMelo Ball finishes with a triple-double for the Hornets, 30 points, 13 assists, and 10 rebounds, and continues to be a better defender than people thought he was. They also get 20 apiece from both PJ Washington and Gordon Hayward, and another great Mark Williams game, who is making his claim is one of the best young bigs in the league. 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 of 8 from the field. One of the most efficient young bigs in the league. Him, Jalen Duren, and all the other guys, Wemby too, obviously. But there's a bunch of good young bigs in the league, Şengün as well. But Mark Williams is one of those guys and is super great defensively. But again, the big thing from this game that stood out to me is guys like Grant Williams, Dereck Lively, and Tim Hardaway Jr. stepping up for the Mavs and showing that they have a much better supporting cast than they have in the past with Luka. But let's now shoot around the league, look at different games, and see what else happened in this night in the NBA. So, looking at other games from around the NBA, there were 4 other games tonight outside of the one we just talked about, but I'll start us off with Raptors versus Spurs, because this is a game that the Raptors win in overtime, but early on it seemed like they had no chance in this game. The Raptors put up 36 points in the first half, and it seemed all but over that the Spurs would easily win this one, but they end up losing in overtime because the Raptors have all the momentum in the second half, put up like 80 plus in the second half alone and overtime, but just a dominant kind of comeback victory for the Toronto Raptors, thanks to 30 points and 11 rebounds from Scotty Barnes, who continues his great breakout season, 24 from OG Anunoby, who hit a career-high 7 threes in this game. Looking at the Spurs, no Devin Vassell, 26 for Keldon Johnson, and 20 points and 9 rebounds, as well as 5 blocks from Victor Wembanyama. But the biggest problem with the Spurs team so far is that down the stretch of games, they just don't get Wemby the ball. Pass Wemby the ball. He's the best player on your team. Stop being selfish. Why doesn't Jeremy Sohan pass Wemby the ball? I don't get it. It's something the Spurs clearly have to address, and they could have won this game if they just put the ball in the hands of their best player. Then let's move to Suns versus Pistons. They still don't have Book or Beal, but the Suns win this one 120-106 thanks to a Kevin Durant masterclass. 41 points on over 50% shooting, 21 from Eric Gordon as well. The Pistons get 26 from Cade, as well as 12 and 11 from Jalen Duren, but it's just not enough because of that 40 piece from KD. Marcus Sasser has continued to look really good as a young guard off the bench for the Pistons, 22 points in tonight's game, and is quietly making a case as one of the best rookie guards in this class. Moving on to, we'll talk about the Warriors game. The Warriors lose to the Cavs 104-115. The Cavs finally have all their guys back. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and Donovan Mitchell all play in this game, and they look good together. It looked like the Cavs from last year, if not better. They get 31 from Donovan Mitchell, who has been blazing to start the season, 24 from Garland, 13 from Mobley. They also get 15 from Max Strus. I think inserting him into the lineup, plus those other big 4 guys, makes this team completely different than they were last year and much more dangerous. The Warriors get 28 from Steph, 18 from Draymond, 15 from Clay, 15 from Kuminga, really spreading the wealth around. But with the Cavs defense on top of the improved offense, it just wasn't enough to beat this rejuvenated Cavs team. And then I think there's only one other game on the schedule for the night. The Grizzlies take down the Trailblazers. The Grizzlies were up 8 at the half, and then the Blazers end the third quarter up 4. Great third quarter from the Blazers. Then they go on like a 5-0 run to start the quarter, and all of a sudden they're up 9. It looks like the Grizzlies are about to go to 0-7, and the Blazers are about to win their 4th straight game, but that does not happen because they collapse down the stretch. Grizzlies win 112-100, get their first win of the season. win, behind 30 points from Desmond Bane, who just felt like he couldn't miss in the fourth quarter, 27 for Jaren Jackson Jr. Looking at the Trailblazers side, it is a season-high 27 from Jeremy Grant. Shaedon Sharpe not quite as good in this game as he's been over the past few. 18 points, 7 of 15 shooting is fine, but DeAndre Ayton, 11 rebounds, but offensively wasn't the same as we've seen from him lately either, with only 6 points, and they end up losing this game. Grizzlies get their first win of the year, but now, as always, we always do, let's move into the last segment of the night, which is the top 5 players according to the Real Sports app. I like to kind of showcase who the best performances came from on every night in the NBA, but let's start off with the top 5 here. Giving you number 1 was LaMelo Ball with 30 points, 13 assists, and 10 rebounds. At number 2, we have Scotty Barnes with 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. Kevin Durant coming in at 3 with 41 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell at 4 with 31 points and 7 assists. And then at number 5, we have Keldon Johnson with 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Really good start to the year for Keldon Johnson and the Spurs, who've looked good, but they couldn't win tonight's game. But that'll do it for this night in the NBA. Another night in the NBA. Think about subscribing. I'm on the road to 12,000 subscribers, especially if you enjoy these daily recap type videos. Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.